All of the U.S. stock market averages managed to eke out the week with small gains, and that was following another huge reversal on Friday. The Dow Jones finished up 564 points, but earlier in the morning, before the market opened, the futures were down over 400 points. In fact, I think the low during normal hours was down about 350, but still was about a 2.5% swing from the morning low to the close. NASDAQ had an even bigger swing. It finished the day up 3.2%, but that was a 4.5% rise from its morning low. Though the NASDAQ finished the week slightly positive, it's still down about 11.5% on the month. But again, the losses are concentrated in the more speculative part of the NASDAQ. Again, look at the Cathie Wood ARC Innovation. It had a huge rally. It closed up 3.9% on the day, but that was 7% off its morning low. In fact, the new low, 64.35, which it set yesterday morning, represented a 60% decline from its peak price. And even though it was up on the day, it still finished down 3.6% on the week. So bucking the trend, NASDAQ up on the week, but ARC Innovation still down, and it's still down 27% on the month of January. By the way, we still have one more day. Monday will be the last day of the month. I think it's very possible that this could end up being the worst January for the stock market ever, certainly the worst January for the NASDAQ ever. One of the reasons, though, that the market held up on Friday was Apple, which was up 7% on the day. Apple released its earnings after the bell on Thursday, and they beat across the board. So that kind of set the tone. At least the market had that good news to hang its hat on. We also had bad news that came out of the trading app Robinhood. I've talked about Robinhood on this podcast quite often. I've been very bearish on that particular business model ever since the company came public last year. Well, they reported horrible results, worse than expected after the bell on Thursday.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information, and it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And
the stock tanked. It was down maybe close to 20%, 15% or so, traded below $10 per share. I think the low was like $9.94 during the normal session. It may have traded a little lower than that in pre-market. I think it did. But that represented an 88% fall from its all-time high, $85 a share, and it set that high in the second week of trading. So it went public, and then in the very next week, in August of last year, the stock traded at 85, and yesterday morning, it traded hands at under $10. Now, we had this big reversal in the stock. It ended up closing at $12.73, so almost a 30% rise from the low. To me, that was short covering. In fact, I think a good part of Friday's rally was shorts covering. They have some big profits. They're going into the end of the month. They probably wanted to take the opportunity to realize some of those gains and put them in the bank. And so that's what this rally smells like to me. I do not think the stock market is out of the woods by a long shot. I think we still have some work to do on the downside. And by the way, the worst is not over for Robinhood. Think about that company, because Robinhood's customers, the millions and millions of people that have downloaded that trading app and have been buying and selling stocks and cryptocurrencies, all these guys are going to go broke. I mean, if you have a business and all of your customers are broke, what's that business worth? I mean, you don't have any value if you don't have any customers, because if your customers are bankrupt, they can't generate any earnings for you. The Robinhood customers are the ones that loaded up on Robinhood stock, and all of these other meme stocks and cryptocurrencies that are now collapsing. So they are in the process of getting wiped out. And if Robinhood couldn't make a profit during the bull market, which it didn't, how is it going to make a profit during the bear market, which it can't? This company is never going to make a profit. And if you're never going to make a profit, well, then how are you going to stay in business? They can't. They've been able to stay in business because they've been able to sell stock to investors. Well, how are they going to do that in the future when the people who already bought stock are getting killed?
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Markus Dahn, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Markus Dahn.